Welcome back, everyone. 3 more Texas restaurants have earned a coveted Michelin Star. The guide published its 2025 edition for the state, featuring a new spot in Dallas and 2 in San Antonio. While Michelin did honor a few spots here in Austin with some of its other recognitions and distinctions, no new Austin restaurants made the list. However, all 7 local restaurants recognized in last year's inaugural Texas Guide retain their stars.
So joining us today to talk about the impact of the guide and what it's done for our Austin restaurant industry and our economy over the last year is Joe Monastero with the Texas Restaurant Association. He's the Chief Revenue Officer there, so some good insight on what's going on here in the Austin area. Thank you so much for being here.
Good morning, my pleasure.
I can't believe it's already been a year since we were just talking to you all with
It's gone fast,
rollout in Texas. So talk about what the last year has looked like. What impact has it had specifically here in Austin?
You know, Michelin itself does have a significant impact locally. So if you think about even just the day after, so what some of the chefs are experiencing today is an immediate doubling of reservations, doubling of traffic, and then a long-term sustained growth of about 40%. So it makes a huge difference to a restaurant that's receiving a recognition, whether that's a star, a bib, or even just being recommended.
Yeah, I mean, we recognize there that some other cities here in Texas got new Michelin stars, Dallas, Houston, San Antonio, but Austin did not get any new ones, at least this time around. What kind of impact does that have?
I wouldn't look at it as necessarily being a good or a bad thing, right?
Okay.
You know, you have to think about the group that goes through and does these assessments. They're going through sometimes 2-3 times to a restaurant before the restaurant has any clue they're even being assessed. The first time they have any idea of it is when they get a little note saying, hey, would you update all of your information for us? And then if they get an invitation to the award ceremony itself, they know something probably good is about to happen to them.
There's
right?
good things that are coming, yeah.
Exactly, and there was a new green Michelin star added to Austin, which is great. That brings that up to 2 of them. And that recognizes sustainability in restaurants, which obviously is really strong in Austin. So, you know, at the end of the day, for all of these restaurants, today is a day to be happy, to look at their reservation books fill up as people want to come in and try the food that they're serving.
Such a huge accomplishment. It's also been cool to see some of those other recognitions. We mentioned the Bib Gourmand and, as you mentioned, the Green Star. What kind of impact and how important are some of those that maybe have different things that these restaurants are getting recognized for? What does that mean for the Austin restaurant community?
Yeah, so I think one of the things that's really important to remember is why Michelin even exists, right? So if you go back to before GPS, before consumer-driven ratings, for almost a century, Michelin was the OG foodie's guide to the galaxy, if you will, right? You got your maps from them to guide you on your journey, and then the Michelin guide itself told you where to eat when you got there. And so Michelin still today, especially in Europe, is this guiding post of where should we eat when we go abroad. Next year we have the World Cup coming to Dallas and Houston.
That is right.
That's going to be a lot of international travelers coming to this state. And when they start thinking about where they want to eat, with almost more than a third of Michelin recognized restaurants are in Austin, they're going to take that 2 or 3 hour drive down here just to check out what's going on in the culinary scene here in Austin.
I'm foreseeing some other conversations that we'll need to have at least next year when the World Cup is around. So, you know, our neighbors just down the road in San Antonio have 2 new spots that got added to the list to try. That's Nicosia and Isidore. Talk about the San Antonio food scene, because it's really not that far from Austin.
No, absolutely. I mean, there are those who look at us as the larger, newer metroplex, right? And all of the restaurants down there, especially in the area of the Pearl, they strive to create this sort of culinary scene and an experience. And I think that's one of the things that, regardless of whether you're a Michelin recognized restaurant or not, today is all about the value and the experience that you're giving to your customers. And so it's not a surprise to see that San Antonio picked up a couple of those recognitions. And again, whether you're just recommended or you're a Bib Gourmand or a Green Star or getting any of those 1, or we hope maybe next year to see a few restaurants get 2 stars, that's just all part of that process of being recognized as a leader in your area. And there's a halo effect then to all the other restaurants as well. It's kind of that all boats rise in a high tide, if you will.
Yeah, and we'll note for our audience, Isidore, one of those San Antonio spots, actually has an Austin connection with Emmer and Rye Group too. Okay, last quick question. We just have a few more seconds with you, but is there a way to measure or put a dollar amount on the impact that this guide being in Texas has?
I think one of the things that we'll be able to see is going to be next year when we have such a influx of international travelers. That's really where Michelin does make such a huge impact, is that it does guide everybody into where they're going to go, what they're going to do, how they're going to shape their vacation, whether they're just traveling for food tourism or come here to watch a few amazing soccer games and stay for the good food after.
Another draw for Texas, for sure. Joe Monastero with the Texas Restaurant Association, thanks again for joining us and for making us a little bit more hungry this morning. We appreciate that,
pleasure.
too.